All right, everyone get in here right now and sit down, okay? This is extremely important. This is not a drill, okay? A couple of days ago, I was tagged in a post by Lady Von Kiki. Thank you, Lady Von Kiki, for that tag in regards to this electroacoustic work called Persepolis by Yanis Xenakis, okay? And we're going to get into my discoveries and what I found when I started listening to this as someone that's already brain firing off on all cylinders and what it did for me, okay? But let's talk a little bit about what this work is and what it represents and what it means and what it does, and then I'll tell you about my personal experience, okay? Pause to read here, but Persepolis is a 1971 electroacoustic work by architect-composer Yanis Xenakis, created as a large-scale sonic ritual for the ancient ruins of Persepolis in Iran, where it premiered with 59 speakers, lasers, fire, and torch procession. So this was basically like he built this system with mathematical, energetic, sound, acoustic precision, and he created an entire stage off of this for the full immersion of the experience. Listeners often describe the piece as a vortex, a primordial field, or a cleansing force, reflecting its ability to overwhelm predictive processing and drop the mind into deep somatic presence. Before I get into my actual numerical findings and what I found in regards to this track, I want to just tell you a little bit about my experience. So I was tagged in this video like a couple days ago, and I went immediately to find it on YouTube, of course, because I'm always down for the plot when it comes to, higher elevation and consciousness. And this video was talking about how this particular soundtrack pretty much can rewire DNA and repair DNA, etc. So I wanted to see what it was about, and I put it on not really knowing what to expect. And when I say initially the sound was really jarring, like it sounds like screeching. So I was almost tempted to like turn it off, but then something was like, no. Sit with it, relax yourself. I was in the dark. I had my headphones on full blast, and I'm like, just let it play and let's see where this goes. And when I say I was not ready for where it took me, I was not ready at all. I want you to keep in mind the fact that I went to the track first. I didn't go decode it first. I didn't look and see what it coded with first. Okay. I just imagine me listening in my headphones, and eventually all of the sound started to pulse through my brain. And I mean, it was just pulling all these different parts. Okay, you could literally feel it pulsing through every part of the brain. And I'm already sensitive. I already have crystallization of my, of my brain based on something that I did back in 2023. And if you want to see that, go to the other profile. It's pinned to the top of my page. But my brain is already firing off on all cylinders. So I could feel every part of this. Okay. And it felt like it was just going through, like it was scratching certain parts of my brain and cleaning it. And then all of a sudden I saw myself envision inside of the center of my brain, inside of the prefrontal cortex, like it was actually a room that I was in getting ready to, fix things. The next thing I'm feeling all of this sensation in my brain. And the next thing I was thrust into a vision of the past. I literally went back in time, all the way back to the beginning. I was like in the dark primordial void, and then all of a sudden I saw everything forming, the earth, etc. And then all of a sudden I was manifested into this reality inside the earth realm, and I'm looking around like, okay, what's going on? It's just blank potential. And then I was shown, after asking the question, I kept hearing the question, how did I do this? How did you do this? How did you make this happen? And the answer that came to me blew my mind. Okay. And I literally could connect that to a book that I already owned. And I can't tell you exactly what that is because it's too powerful for me to talk about on this platform. Okay. The CIA gonna come and get me if I start talking about this stuff. So I get this information after going back in time and accessing this realm, which is almost like Akashic records, right? And I'm like, I wasn't trying to do any of this. I'm just sitting there in meditation. I'm always meditating. So I'm very in tune. When things drop into my consciousness, I know. Okay. And this was very, very clear. I'm like, okay, what is this about? Right? The information that I was able to pull from that, pulled it into the real world, woke up the next day, started decoding that information and said, okay, I'm going to use this technology because it was a piece of tech. It's ancient tech. Okay. So I started using it for the past 2 nights. I've been using the ancient tech just to test it, see the theory, see if it works. And when I tell you it works, meaning that my dreams were manifesting exactly what I was asking and the information was coming very fluidly, clearly. Okay. Not to mention the fact that next day that I woke up, my brain was like on superpower, meaning that I felt like I had got a charge. I woke up in the morning, I was talking really fast, and I was like, okay, well, I know what I got to do. I got to look at it this way and that way, and I got to take this and I got to move this and blah, blah, blah. I know that's going to work for this. And I'm like, okay, well, let's try it this way. Oh, there it is. Crack the code. Boom. Okay, so I can start using this every night. Let's do this every night until we finish, right? I got this ancient tech code and it's been working. So I'm still testing it, but I also want to acknowledge the fact that it gave me the ability to think clearly, faster, metacognition. Okay, as someone who is already already have it, this definitely lifted it 1000%. And you can literally feel it as you're listening if you allow the sounds to just take over and do what they do. I am so sure that this has some extreme potential. We have to bring this back. So now let's talk about what it codes with, okay? Because after all of that happened, I was like, okay, now I got to investigate. I got to see what's up. So the next day after that happened, I was like, okay, I woke up and I was like, let's get into it, right? So these are the words that I found that actually code with it. Sequencing, golden thread of logic, the tree of life, okay? Akashic records, antenna music, a divine secret, lose fat fast, okay? And if you're asking me how to lose weight, do I have a belly fat song? Let's skip all of that. Get this track from YouTube and start listening right now. Migraine cure, sonic energy, infinite luck. Somebody asked me something about luck and breakthrough, okay? These are really high level codes here we're talking about. And when you talk about the tree of life, you're talking about DNA. So Akashic records, if you want to access your Akashic records, I did it. It works for that. And I'm going to trust that it works for everything else here, including lose weight fast. Okay. Have I started losing weight? I don't know. I look pretty good when I woke up this morning. I don't know. I was getting ready to put on, my workout stuff so I can go for a walk. And I was like, I'm looking pretty good right now. I don't know. Let's see in a few days. But I believe everything this is saying. He was very intentional about the way that he crafted this. And the video was talking about how it's DNA repair. And I believe it because everything is neural. Everything is in the brain. And this is why I study the pathway so I can come up with different slogans and phrases that heal certain things that directly attached to the things that are going on that you want to heal. So yeah, I believe that this track has tremendous potential and I want you to listen to it regardless. You need focus, listen to it. You need healing, listen to it. Okay, it's working with the entire brain. So again, Lady Kiki, you are a divine messenger of light. Thank you for this information. Thank you for tagging me in that video. And as I always say, lock in, guys.